Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful day with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. Thank you for joining the Live with Lloyd family this evening. I have one of my brothers, my baby brother, King Simon, and not only we're the best of buddies. This is my buddy. I'd almost say he's my partner in crime, but I ain't gonna go that far. But he's great. He's great. So anyway, I do want to thank all of you for joining me this evening. Hold on, let me get this done. Okay. See, there we go. There we go, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. This is always, I tell you, I have a lot of fun with all of my guests. King Simon, though, he has done so much for me, man. I mean, and I always tell him to his face, like he gives me my props. The door swing both ways with he and I. He's going to be joining us in just a moment. And I got to let you know that thanks to him, he's been sponsoring the show this month, okay? Because he's having a masterclass webinar where he applies numeration from 0 to 9, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, and imagine so on. It's going to be on Saturday, October the 28th from 11 to 2 p.m. and learn how to guide yourself. So register now, please. Linktree / King Simon the Numerovator. That's where you sign up now. And I have him on to talk about that. Also talk about some of his books. As you know, I also mentioned when I was talking about numerology in children, I wanted to let you know that King Simon has a book out also on children, and it's called, and this is the name of the book right here that I mentioned in terms of the book. Numbers are simple, and children's health is important. Now, yes, he talks about health, but see, you got to understand where King Simon is coming from. Not only your physical health, your spiritual, your motivational, and your mental health. That's what his last book is about, but we'll do that. And before I bring him on, we will do the forecast for today. There we go. Live with Lloyd, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. Share, like, and subscribe. I will not, or Live with Lloyd will never DM you for money or with a message. I just don't do that. It is Wednesday, October the 18th. The sun is in Libra. The moon is in Sagittarius. It's an 8 universal month, an 11 universal week, an 8 universal day. So if you happen to be Aries, Scorpio, Leo, Capricorn, Aquarius, like King Simon and I, or Libra, or born on the 8th, the 9th, the 17th, 18th, 26th, or 27th, well, this should be your day. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my good buddy, King Simon.
Hey,
What's up,
what's
buddy?
up?
Yeah, I don't have
Let me put on my own applause.
You read my mind. You read my mind because I don't have one of those. You got to show me how to hook all that up
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the
I got a
applause.
whole little machine here now. I got a whole, so got laughter. I got all kind. I got laughter. I got all kinds of stuff.
Well,
I got
Simon, you've been holding back, man, so I
Lord,
can
Lord,
enhance
Lord,
my show.
Lord,
Okay.
I got gunshots.
Well, Simon, it doesn't surprise me with your Aquarius self, buddy. You are true to your sign in every sense of
You're
the word.
darn right.
And I'm so glad we're brothers in every sense of the word.
Yes,
I'm glad
sir.
we share the same things,
Yes,
and I
sir.
mean, you're just a class act, man. So I'm just telling you to your face about your class. Tell me about your
Whew.
webinar on the
Man, Lord.
28th of October. What inspired you to do this anyway, Simon?
Well, I mean, we teach all the time, and we always doing, advisory work. I'm really have a stickler for not calling what we do readings. I really call it advisory or consultation. And
Uh-huh.
because when you do step into the richer realms, like the J.P. Morgans and the presidents, they call them advisors. They
Yes, they
wasn't
do.
calling them readers.
Yeah, no, they don't. No, they
So
don't.
if you want to step into that realm, I'm talking to all of you cardologists and all of the tarot. Stop calling yourself readers. Readers end up on the streets doing palms and doing cards on the street, doing what the gypsies did. However, if you want to step up to the higher echelons and at least command some type of respect, from my perspective, in my opinion, I feel that we need to change the language of reading and call it what it is. We're advising people and consulting people with numbers. You're not, and because of our studies and our prolonged studies in this, that's what we are. I don't read anybody because the only people we may need to read is children because they don't know themselves yet. But
Sure, sure, sure.
adults know themselves. It's just that they need to tap in or be reminded. And
Hmm.
that's where I come from because it's always remember the movie Recall, Total Recall. That's
Yes,
all it takes. It takes a total recall, and it could be something tragic that probably opens you up to something to recall what you went through in your past, or it could be something of symbolism, which is numerology, numbers of symbols, astrology is dealing with symbols and the planets and all that, and vibration. Anything can open us up to be what we call the magi's, because the ancient education of magi's, Lloyd, the magi's were those in history, men and women, that were able to turn little of nothing and turn them into something, but also use their gifts and talents, that which all of us have, but more of us are stepping into it, like becoming this spiritual gangster, like I have on my shirt. We're spiritual gangsters.
yeah,
We pushing our way straight through without
yeah.
without. So why I decided to do the applied numerovation class, because at the end of the day, no matter what you're an astronumerologist and this person might be a cardologist, and they're using numbers connected to the cards, we're still motivating people to be their best, to work with their cycles. And that's why I call it numerovation, instead of just staying on numerology, which was another word that was coined back in 1906, 1907 by John Stanton. So it wasn't there amongst Pythagoras. It wasn't there amongst the ancient. We studied patterns. It might have been another language, another word. But when it came to coining that actual word, Julius Staton was the one that coined the word. A doctor, Julius Staton, coined the word numerology, the study of numbers.
Well, you know what's interesting, in the 60s, Gene Dixon was the advisor to John F. Kennedy. And
Mm-hmm.
in the 80s, Kathleen Quinn was the advisor to Ronald Wilson Reagan, you
Go
know?
figure. Go figure.
And Hitler had advisors,
J.P.
Napoleon had
Morgan,
advisors,
Queen
JP Morgan
Victoria,
had advisors.
Queen Victoria, the
Yeah, they
Dukes.
all, but they were known as advisors. There wasn't no readers.
No readers.
Okay,
No.
they were advisors.
They understood that. I remember watching Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr., which was hilarious. And all the readers are on the streets. Oh, your mother's going to die, such and such, and this, and all that. Jumping cars and doing all kinds of stuff. But when you went into the higher echelons of the magistrates and those great guys, they understood the metaphysics, and all the men around them or women that was around them were their advisors. If you watch Sherlock Holmes very attentively, because I'm one of those people that study movies, I study scientific books like Zero. This one is
Yeah.
called Zero, the biography and the dangerous ideal of zero, what zero meant from a scientific perspective. I have another book called From One to Zero by a French author and philosopher, and he spoke about the first chapter spoke about, can animals count? Lloyd, come on
That's
now.
interesting.
If
That's
you study
interesting.
the Nature's Channel, when they know they're being attacked by lions, if one is missing, they get into a panic. They know their patterns and their cycles and their sequences and how many children they are. And we might think they don't know how to count, but they know.
Yeah, that's like penguins when they go out to sea for fish and they leave
Exactly.
all the babies along the beach, hundreds, thousands of babies. They all
Mhm.
know how to find them babies. They all look alike to me,
Exactly.
but they know
Exactly.
exactly how to find their respective children, their babies.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's it.
So in that book, he talks about that, and which is so funny. It's called From One to Zero by Georges Ifra. I got it in the back of it, but it's a hardcover book, old book. But it was translated from French to English.
It's not like having knowledge, right? That's
It's
why we
not,
have books galore,
no, that's why we seek knowledge. It's all right with the spiritual knowledge, because a lot of us would be considered indigo and crystal children. I myself would be considered, because I was asking questions at a young age myself
Yeah.
about certain things. I didn't like the church. I used to just run around in the church like, this is a party. Why are we in here trying to listen to this guy talk when we supposed to be running around having fun? I'm one of those people in the church when I was like 2, 3 years old. My cousin used to tell me, whatever.
Well, with you being a fire number, that would explain a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? So I do know that you're going to have to leave at about 8:30. About 7:30, 7:35. That's because you have a guest at 8. So tell us
Yes.
about that, so people who are listening in can tune into your show. You'll
Oh
say.
man, family, I got the great one herself, one of the co-partners of the one, the only Queen of Four coming in. It's going to be and Queen Esther will be in the building with
Ashe,
me live and
Ashe.
direct. Matter of fact,
Yeah,
let me share a screen real quick if you don't mind, Lloyd. Let me show them.
please do.
Let me share a screen if I could do that. Let me see. There it goes. Boom. Let's go straight to it. Boom, 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 bap, and there it. If you can see it, let's put it up for me.
Yes, I've got it right here. I'm going to put it up for you right now.
Right.
Yeah, because she normally has me on her segments during the new moon.
Yes, 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 yes. So,
She's the new
um,
moon lady.
yeah,
Okay,
we
here we
got
go.
Queen Esther at 8 o'clock. I have a co-host every Wednesday now from out of Canada, crossing the borders, trying to make sure we
That's
develop.
nice, Simon. That's
Yeah, we
very nice.
working
That's
it. I'm trying
nice.
to pull in some people from England. I have a friend of mine that's going to come in probably once. She used to be a sacred woman, but she moved back to England to do her thing. So I'm trying to pull in across the pond, across the border, trying to work with everybody to see how we can all work together. And this sister here, Carrie Ann Ingram, is not only, this is somebody you should have on your show. She's a tarot advisor herself. She's also a Reiki master.
Well,
Beautiful
good.
sister,
Pass
man.
me her name and she'll be
Yes.
invited. That's automatic.
And she's an Aquarius like us, so which is that she's
Okay.
January 26th. Like the sister that was sitting next to me, I think Simone, that was sitting next to
Yeah,
me at the
yeah,
workshop. That was
yeah,
she was
yeah.
this one
Anita
is
Baker's born on January 26th, too.
exactly. So is Ivan Van Sertima.
Yes, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
every time you say he's a Capricorn, I said no, that's
No,
Ivan
he's
Van
really
Sertima.
not.
He's
But don't
Aquarius.
forget, see, but you got to understand,
The eight,
the original ruler of our sign of Aquarius was
was
one Saturn,
Saturn. Yes, that's right.
and Saturn rules the number 8. So
That's right.
he is an Aquarius technically, but he has, like in all the other Black historians, Dr.
Yes.
Diop, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, et cetera, Dr. Ben Yenkinen, Dr. John Hope Franklin, all of them without question have been Capricorns.
Yes,
So I
yes.
threw them in the bunch too.
Yeah, I noticed, but I removed that. But yeah, so why I'm doing the class, family, is really, and I'll matter of fact, I'll share that part of the screen also so people can see
Please do.
why I'm doing the class. Let me go to my there it is.
Let me know when you want to
itself.
share, buddy.
You can
Okay.
share it out. Yeah, you can share it right now, sir.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, there it is. So as you scroll down, applied numerovation webinar on October 28. You know why I did it on the 28th, Lloyd. You already know the numbers is what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. I kind of figured that out.
And Bill Gates is born that same day, and the guy that does that made that tool, that apparatus, that martial arts apparatus that I use, is born the same day also.
Yeah,
So,
Julia Roberts is also born on that
yes,
day too.
yes. So you will learn, like I said, the basics of holistic levels of applied numerovation and how to build your own interpretation of numbers. The meaning of numbers, we're going to go down that, how they can assist and guide us, looking for patterns, cycles, and sequences of numbers. And of course, my BATH method, BATH method, which means looking beyond around the trajectory of the numbers and learning to hear the numbers, listen to the numbers. Why do we automatically turn to when because I'll be walking the street and my mind says, look that way and I'll see 444, or look that way, I'll see 111, look that way, I'll see, or you might wake up at 333 automatically. Something is innately connecting you to that. And I'm going to show you why I call it the BATH method. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still developing it. It's still growing in my head because we never stop learning, Lloyd. I'm telling you, I'm studying scientific books.
Hold up. I got to back up.
Go ahead.
Did I see your master course on the 28th is only $55?
Yes, it's only $55. Yes, you did say it's $55.
It wasn't $550.
It could be, but I already sell an 8-hour course for $444, and that's even a steal. An 8-hour course.
I know you ain't got to tell me.
That's even a steal, but people don't understand. But in honesty, I want people to get it. I want it to be reasonable. I mean, you've had celebrity clients. I've had celebrity clients, and these clients, I have good friend of Prince did a session with me. One of his good friends, and I won't even say the name because he had a whole bunch of good friends. But these people are some good. I mean, they know some stuff, and they did, and they said, "Man, you charging, really a low price," And I'm like, yeah, but I really want people to get it. So, because we're humanitarians, that's the Aquarian.
That is how we roll. Yeah, no question. That's how we roll.
Although Leonard Nimoy is born March 26th, he said the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. So that is my premise. This is my gift. My books are my gift to you before I transition. I have
Yeah.
six more books that I'm writing, but those particular books right now with Numerovation, it really being piled in people's head because we know what's happening out there with a lot of suicide going on, a lot of mental health disorder. And I tell people, numbers is not the is all or be all, but it can definitely point you in the right direction where you need to go to align yourself to be your best.
Now, this brings me to the fact of what
Yes.
made you do the piece on children?
Oh, you, you, and
Really?
Horace Jahari also made me do. You remember Horace Jahari, the
Yeah,
Indian
yeah,
numerologist?
yeah.
He made me do it, and then of course I have so many children.
Yeah, and I do too. So between us, we got a boatload
So
of kids.
you was definitely one, and also examining what Phil Valentine did as far as having the exemption letters for children, and what Queen of Fu have done to help out young ladies and young daughters and young men as far as the healed man, heal thyself, and also of course Dr. Sabi and all of that. But that was very important because I seen you do it in your book, and I seen Horace touch on it in his book. But y'all, as a number one, I'm direct to the point. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
whole thick book with fluff. I don't need to do, I need to go straight to it. Numbers are simple. Children's health is important. Done. And it's good for adults. I'm not going to give you a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to say, I said numerovation for mental stability. I go straight to the point. I don't stop. And then even with my book, numbers are simple, people are complicated. I go straight to the point. I don't give no filters. I big up
Yeah, well,
everybody.
that's the whole point of a number one. They get right to the point.
Get right to the
But
point.
that's why when last week when I was talking about children, I made it the end of it about your book. That they
Mhm.
should pick up your book on numbers are simple and children's health is important.
Yes, and I got it. I got the vaccine exempt letters, and I mean not letters, but the phone numbers to call if you want to make your children. And why I recommend Phil a little bit more than most is because Phil has been studying it for years. He's been
Yes,
doing it for
yes,
years,
that's yes,
and
definitely.
he's a number 16. So
Yeah.
he's very astute and digs deep, and then he'll study all of the laws all over the
His
world.
birthday was on Monday.
Yes, it was. Yes, I did call him for that, and he don't even want everybody to know that. But yes, his
No,
birthday.
we
I
ain't
did
tell
call
his age. We just said that that's his
yeah.
birthday.
But yes, Lloyd, yes, his birthday just passed, and his grandson's birthday just passed on the 16th. So it was all of y'all together, and that's why I tell people don't take away and debate and destroy the elders' legacy. Add on. And I'm just here to add on. I'm just here to add on because all of us at the end of the day, as much as we want to be read by Lloyd or read by Jackie or read by Aquarius or read by Nina or read by me, look, at the end of the day, learn to read yourself. And I heard Lloyd said
Yes,
it. Lloyd,
yes.
I heard you say on your last broadcast with Brandon, big up to Brandon also, that it's hard for you to read yourself. And I said to myself, once you said that years ago. You didn't, not
Mhm.
just now. You said it to us 20 years ago. It's hard for you to read. And I listened. And I remember you saying that at an election. I said, I'm going to learn how to read myself. And once I did, I said like this, I objectively put my name and birthday on the paper and look at it as a client. And then I start breaking it down.
Interesting,
I start
interesting,
breaking it down.
interesting.
Then I
In other
know
words, you get outside of yourself, so to speak.
exactly. That's how you're going to do it. Because people drop cards for themselves all the time. People do the tarot for themselves, or they do
Sure,
cardology. I
they
mean,
totally do.
I noticed Aquarius when I was driving with her to New Orleans. She was dropping and doing her thing. I said, see, but we can do it also as professionals in this field because a magi, if they're the alchemists of the world and from the history, and a good book to get is by Infundicia, another fellow Aquarian, which is a book on the magi and the warrior magi because they was warriors and alchemists and they was fighters and they was also able to study the stars and study the numbers. Let me read something to you real quick from a book that I would suggest everybody get. This one I ain't afraid to tell people about book. Beginner's Guide to
Beginner's Guide
Divination.
to Divination.
Yes, very good book. It's a compilation of many different writers in this book. And then it talks about the education of the Magi. It says the Magi training took place in a relationship between the master and the student. The student would attend to the master almost as a servant, and the master magi would train his student in the arts of numerology and magic. After enough information was passed on for the student to have a good foundation and a degree of competence, He went into the world. He was expected to lead a very simple life and have limited earthly needs to focus on his experience. To focus on his experience would be on an energies of life and manifestation. That is the job of anybody that wants to study this great, great magical, not magical of sleight of hand, but magical of making things manifest. The alchemical way of doing things with the numbers. You have to be simple, keep it simple, but yet willing to always keep your glass halfway full. And being willing to learn, because you'll never know everything. Let me say it to the people in the back of the room. Let me knock on the mic. You'll never know any. Some of y'all can't even count the hair follicles on your arm.
Yeah.
So stop
yeah,
playing.
Yeah.
You'll never
and
know.
As long as I've been doing this, I'm still learning.
Exactly.
This is why I try to teach all the students, like, you'll develop your own. And that's why if that was the case, there'd only be one numerology book, but there are countless numerology books.
Countless. And one thing I do.
And they all add a little different nuance, a little different flavor. And you definitely brought to the table a whole different flavor.
Man, and I think that Jackie's brought it, and I think Nina's
Brandon,
working. She's doing it. Brandon is
Day, all of them.
All of them. But that's why I dislike. I don't dislike their information, but I dislike when people say this is the complete book of numerology. I'm like, really? Complete book of numbers that go infinitely into time, and if you die now, I kept on counting, you could come back and still be counting. That don't make sense to me. So when I see those books, I'll be like, okay, I got the book, but
that's the hook.
Yes,
for Palmer Street, for chess, or whatever the case is. Everybody's, this is the complete guide, but really nothing is complete because there's always something to learn.
Always something to learn. And thanks to you and many other of the elders for the past, so that was there at First World and all those different programs that may have passed on or transitioned, but people like you that have kept it going, Queen of Four that has kept it going, even dealing with the pendulum and everything, those are the wind under my wings that keeps us all flying. And I'm going to be the wind under other people's wings with my book.
You better believe it. Believe it.
So family,
because we're supposed to pass on the baton, the knowledge, the wisdom,
exactly,
experience,
exactly,
and that's it. Now there's quite a few people in the comment section, so let's turn to them and see if they got any questions for you.
Sure.
And I got to be honest, Simon, when I saw, and first of all, thank you for sponsoring the show.
Yes.
And when I saw that your master class that people are going to take.
Yes.
And it's 3 hours, you said?
3 hours. It's 3 hours, but I might go over another hour for the Q&A. But it's called Ascended Masterclass. That's why I named it. Ascended.
Okay, got it.
They're ascending.
Got it. Rising through the mastership.
Rising through, So that's why I call it. I even have that. I even own that label, Ascended Master, as a website.
All right, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. We take it to another level with the businesses. Because I would imagine for about a 15-minute session, you charge more than that.
Of course.
So to sit down with you for 3 hours to get this knowledge for only $55, there is no excuse for none of you not to join this course on the 28th with King Simon.
My advertisement rate of 30 minutes is 100. So it's, and that's an advertisement rate. That's why when I post it on Rich Show and all of that, it's an advertisement rate. That's what it is. That's all it is. Because I'm advertising, that's the rate it is. I cost much more. Matter of fact, Dr. Africa said to me personally that I should charge $300 to $400 an hour. That's what he said to me, because he used to charge that. That's for his consultation. And you could. But we want to make it reasonable.
We could charge, what people don't know is we could charge a whole lot of money.
I went to California Psychics. I went to do a session with California Psychics. I just wanted to check them out, right? Because I study. I really research. People don't really know. I'll go and study all types of people. And when I looked on their brochure, there's not a numerologist, a psychic on there charging $11 a minute.
Yeah.
11 a minute.
Yes.
What I just said, didn't I say an hour or half an hour? A few minutes. $11 per minute. There's somebody on there charging up to $13 a minute. So if they're doing that, and that is all based on what the late great Miss Cleo started.
Yes.
You don't realize that's where she's born August the 12th.
Yeah.
That sister there. She was real. A lot of people think it was fake, but if you studied her numbers, her alignment number alone shows you the 20 energy or the master number. It depends on how you add it up. Because
She was very popular at that time.
she
Miss
was good at
Cleo.
tarot too.
Everybody was talking about Miss Cleo.
And if you watch the documentary, it'll show you what happened with those two Europeans that controlled her name and how they threw up anybody that didn't even know tarot behind the scenes as one of the people answering the phone as if it was Miss Cleo when it wasn't her. And people don't even know what Russ's document. It's on. Her documentary is on. You know,
You
it's called
gotta
Call
send
Me
me that
Now.
link, man. I need to
Yeah,
check that out.
it's either on Prime or it's on HBO. But I watched it a couple of months ago, and they kind of exonerated her because she really was into the spiritual system.
No,
But
she was very legit, but
she was
then there
legit.
was all this scandal toward the end because she was going to have me as a guest on her show.
See, I know she knew. I bet she had your books too. I know,
Yeah,
I know she had your book.
yeah.
Cause yeah, I tell you, Lloyd do not play with Lloyd Stringhorn. Let me start talking like Mr. Bill Cosby here. You better not play with
Yeah, I
Lloyd
met him
Stringhorn.
too.
Both of them born on the 12th. Isn't that
That's
crazy?
right. He's the 12th of July.
But
So
you see, most of them born on that number 3 energy get into controversy, and look what happens to both of them. That when George Carlin born on 12, Dick Gregory born on the 12, we kind of see these
yeah,
things.
October 12th. His birthday was last week.
Yeah, exactly. So and I'm going to be interviewing his son because I have that Gregory's book that his son produced. This one here is called The Essential Dick Gregory, and I talked to him on text. We texted.
And you know, we had the privilege of meeting Dr. Dick Gregory at the United African Movement out in Brooklyn.
That's right. And I brought him to do a lecture for me one time. And Paul Mooney. I produced a lecture.
I met with Paul Mooney too.
Yeah.
I think he's January 22nd, right?
Who, Paul?
Paul Mooney.
No, he's August 4th. August 4th.
That's him. I know he's a 4.
Yeah, Sam Cooke is January 22nd. Me and Lloyd can keep on going back.
Yeah. Anyway,
but why I want people to apply for themselves, because a lot of us are going through a lot of mental stuff, and everybody in America is mentally ill, and even the child coming out of your womb is going through some mental issues, and it's about maintaining mental stability for me, maintaining and enabling people to be motivated by learning how to do this for themselves. If you have to come to me and Lloyd, it's an emergency, to tell you the truth. If you're really not sure and you really want to get some clarification, then you come to us. But at the end of the day, he wrote a book so you can learn. I wrote a book so you can learn. There's numbers in you. That's what he's saying in the book. I got the book right here all the time. It's here. It's always here. It's always here. Numbers in you. What it says: a numerology guide for everyday living. A guide. It's for you to learn and apply it yourself. Stop running away
I
from
often tell people all they gotta do is spend $10 for the book. They ain't got to spend all that money for no session,
because people
everything is right there.
People want their hands to be held. That's the problem. When every one of us innately already has the power, numerology just came through us to help us, remind us of who we are. That's all it came through to give us. That's all.
I agree, Simon.
We forget. And now we need a recall. We need to remember and realign ourselves again. We got to stop playing with this.
Well, I noticed it's 7:30. We got 5 minutes. Let me go through the comments in case somebody has a specific question for
let's
you.
Let's see what they got.
Simon.
Don't ask for no reading. Just call me. Text me when it's ready.
Okay. Empress Rel is on. She's in the first like us. And Stephen Carroll Williams, they the best from Chicago.
Thank you.
I know you have regular supporters every session too, man.
Whole bunch of them.
If you got any questions for King Simon, like
whatever you want to go with.
Like Saturn's daughter here, she says, King Simon.
What's up, Saturn's daughter? That's right, Saturn's daughter. How you doing? Like Wendy would say. How you doing?
Yeah, so if y'all have a question for King Simon, because he does have to go, and his can you put up your flyer one more time where they can tune in at 8:00, please, to catch you and Queen Esther?
Okay, no problem. Let me share that.
Somebody's talking about
Hotep. Somebody just asked about Hotep advice for day 15 of the 52-day cycle. They're born November 25th. I see that up there.
Yeah, so they're definitely in their critical cycle.
Yeah, they are definitely in the critical cycle. Let me see the flyer here. Oh, you mean for Queen Esther, right? That's what you're saying for the interview that I'm doing?
Yeah, Queen Esther.
There it is. I just put it there, so
let me put that up there. Now this
Yes.
is at 8 o'clock. This is why Simon is not able to stay the entire time
Right. Right.
because of the fact that he is going to present this. I mean, and this lady is classic, Queen
Oh
Esther.
man, she's
And I
classy,
mean,
man.
she's a gem with her. And you know, it's interesting. Her and Queen of Fool went to the Tree of Life when they were teenagers.
Yes, that's what I heard.
You
Yes,
know
I
what I'm
heard that.
saying? And I mean, so they've been hanging partners since forever. You know,
Hmm. Let me say something about that person that said about the 52-day cycle with because these cycles go around all throughout the whole year and they're in a critical cycle. That's my brother's birthday. You remember my brother Understanding He born the
yeah,
same day, November 25th. So both of them are in this cycle as they're officially going into their 7 year, but feeling the effects of it and going into an 8 year next year. Just remember, from a 7 going into an 8, just remember to still keep your mind at a higher vibratory level. And before your birthday, do the necessary cleansing of people, places, and things that no longer serve your purpose, but yet be open to the money frequency that's coming also towards 2024 for you. And remember, if people are not you, because you're born on the 25th, remember that in that compound number that adds up to a 7 deals with observation and listening. So if you listen more and observe more than you talk, you'll definitely be able to pick up on people faster. And I also like to tell people, because it's a law of attraction number, if you attract things being under that 25 energy, you better know how to keep it if it's supposed to be for you. Because if you attract a lot of money today, did you have the right bank accounts to keep it? If you do, you have the right trust to put it in. You have to be able to secure what you're attracting also. If it's a law of attraction number, that's 7. You got
that
to be
makes
able to.
sense. That makes
So
sense.
that's the
Makes
motivation
sense,
of it. That's
Simon.
why I do numeration. I'm going to put you to work and give you some exercises. You have to get exercise. I give people exercises after my. I have to give them exercises because they some people need something that's going to tangibly keep them on that move, especially because they don't understand who they are and what they are, and they're just learning by transforming into these magi sciences like numerology or astrology or cardology or cosmophysics and all of that. So very important that whatever you're doing now, and I got to get ready to go. It's all good,
Yeah,
but
no, but that's why I put your how people can get in touch with you, King Simon.
yes, sir.
And
Yes,
he is
sir.
a Numerovator, and I added master teacher because I ain't lying, and you
I
know I
just,
ain't lying. He's an author. He's a great martial artist. I
oh,
mean, this brother got more talent
don't
than
tell
y'all can
nobody.
shake a stick at. Yeah, don't be messing with Simon. Listen, Simon, because they think we short. Okay,
Oh
his
yeah, yeah, yeah.
feelings hurt. All right.
And Queen of Four trained under Dr. Moses Powell too, so don't even play around with the
Yeah,
Queen because
yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
forget. So
And so for contact, so if y'all want to contact him, that's the number. But don't he's not going to take the call. He will take a text from you.
text
He's
message. You
going
have
to
to
need
text
your
me,
full name and date of birth, and
right?
then your schedule.
Right. And I
Because
tell
you're probably booked until
Well, I
Jan-
got to, my list is already into November because we constantly booking. What's so funny? I tell people, come with your questions. I'm a question driven person because no one
me
spends
too.
$100 of money without something in your spirit that prompt you to do this.
Yeah, they got
Nothing.
to have a question.
They have to have some questions. I tell them I have at least 3 to 4 questions, and usually by the time I answer the first question, I already answered all 4 of them.
No,
you
but
know?
you know what? That is normally my MO too. They'll have the
Exactly.
questions at the end, and then when I finish, when they pull out their questions, almost always I've hit on all the
All
questions.
the
So,
questions. That's,
but that's how we do
that's
it.
how we
But
do.
anyway, his site is Linktree/King Simon the
Simon the
Numerovator.
Numerovator. Yes.
His cash app is $King Simon 3158. I
Yes.
would ask where you got that number from. I know
That's a
you
reason.
have
There's a
a
reason.
destiny. I know
There's
you
a,
have a destiny, but we ain't gonna go there right now with that. And his PayPal is PayPal me at /King Simon. And that's for those abroad, Canada, the UK,
yeah, yeah,
other
yeah,
parts
yeah.
of the planet. For those that want to make a donation, these are donations. And don't forget, Simon and I, and
Yeah.
countless others that I've had on this show, have one thing in common. We
Yeah.
all stepped out here on faith. No
We work for
parachutes,
ourselves.
no guarantees, no
That's
retirement
right.
funds, no pensions, no nothing. It's just a passion to do what we do to help humanity. And I'd say it's very rewarding. Sometimes a
Yes.
struggle, no question,
Yes. No
but
struggle.
rewarding. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
and I want to thank your moderator, Empress Well. She's putting it on. Likes and are free, so appreciate
well,
you.
you know she's
Like,
Aquarius like we
oh,
are.
she of course I didn't know. I did.
Yeah,
When is
January
it?
31st.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's right before me. Oh, I understand. She is something else.
Yes, she is.
I can
Yes, she
tell
is
by
with a
that number
beautiful self.
alone. She is something else.
Yeah, yeah. So Simon, thank you, man. Thank you
Oh,
very,
thank
very
you,
much.
Lloyd.
And
Thank you. Thank
love you,
you.
man. You take good care. And
Okay, big up to Sister Cafunia. She's on
now
here
what I
doing that.
might do is try to catch the show. Now, what they can do is they go to YouTube, right?
They can go to YouTube at King Simon Presents on YouTube, or they can go to Facebook at King Simon Productions, or they can go to my Twitter at King Simon Prague. I'm broadcasting on and they could go to Carrie Ann Ingram's YouTube, who is my co-host on Wednesdays. It's our show on Wednesdays called Healing Vibes. So
Well,
we're there to heal.
don't forget to let me know, give me her contact so I
Oh
can invite
yes,
her on the show.
yes.
Righty?
I'm definitely going to send you an email and all that because she works through Signal, which is another apparatus like WhatsApp because she's in Toronto. But I'll send you if you download Signal, it's probably easier to get to her than try WhatsApp. WhatsApp has not happened. Or on Instagram, on her Instagram, her IG DM, she definitely worked through that faster
All
than
right,
trying to
good,
get to her. So
good, good.
I'm gonna send you because you gonna love her. She is something else. She's such a beautiful woman.
Simon, all the best, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a great, great show at 8 o'clock
And
with Queen
you
Esther.
speaking tomorrow. You speaking on the 21st also, right? With Cabo
Yes,
and
Saturday. In
yeah,
fact, I'm
yeah.
going to be announcing that too.
Okay, all
You
right.
know,
Thank you very much,
yeah.
brother. Thank
Love
you
you,
all the
man.
time. Love
You
you
take
too
care,
all the
buddy.
time. Next
All
time we'll be
righty.
on longer. Next time do a longer thing, and I got to bring you on for something too. So we got to get
Oh
ready to
yeah.
do that.
Well, that's how we roll.
That's
Okay.
all
Love
right.
you,
Peace and
man.
love.
Take
Love
care.
you too. Peace.
All right. So let me get to some of the comments. And one of the comments I'm going to get to happens to be uh let me see, where is it? Her name is, hold on one second. There's a special person. This is her name here. Her name is Jennifer Kirkland. Now, let me tell you why Jennifer Kirkland is very special to me. Actually, all of you are special to me, but she's special to me even more so because she designated me, along with her husband, Ricardo, the godfather of her two daughters. Okay. There is Sarah, who is born October the 9th. So she had a birthday just recently. She turned 5 years old, the big old five. And then her sister, Selah, who is turned, I do believe, 9 months old. And she is born on January the 4th. And if you ever want to see a little baby with a poker face, I would take her to the casino with me every time at the card table. She just sits there and just look, and you don't know what's on her mind. So, I mean, of course, they don't let infants into casinos, but if I could take her with me, I take her to the card table with me because she just got that poker face, and you don't know what hand she's holding, but she is interesting. And I need to thank Jennifer because I mean, the fact she designated me as their godfather, and I take that seriously. I was invited to their christening not too long ago, where both of them was christened and stuff. So it was just very nice. And Jennifer, I love you for that. I mean, because as many people as she knows, she asked me to be the godfather of her first child, and then she asked me to be the godfather of Sailor, her second daughter. And I says, "Is that okay with Ricardo?" And Ricardo was just as down with it too, her wonderful husband, whose birthday is November the 10th. And so anyway, Jennifer, thank you so much. I love you for that. Please kiss them girls hello for me. All righty. Okay. And thanks for the donation, honey. I really appreciate this. Okay, this is Hotep advice for 52 days. Okay, I think this is what Simon was talking about with Stoke customer. Anyway, you are a fire sign with a water number. And so sometimes that's a contradiction, which can produce what they call steam at times when put together like that. But it also indicates that the year that you're coming into is going to be an 8 personal year. So anytime you enter an 8, that means now you're in a position to make some moves. So this has been more of a spiritual type of year for you because you're born on the 25th. 2023 adds up to a 7, which adds up to your number. 2 plus 5 is 7. So most 7 people, 7th, the 16th, the 25th, or Cancers and Pisces, should have been the beneficiaries of this year. However, next year, the year of the 8, comes Capricorn, Aquarius, also Libra in a minor way because of the exaltation of the planets to Saturn and Venus. and then um, people who are born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th. The beautiful part about Mother Nature is everybody gets a turn. The only thing is you got to wait. See, we're in a world now of instant gratification. Just hit, just push the button and things appear like that. But in real time, you just have to be waiting. And is the wait worth it? Oh, yeah. The wait is actually worth it. All righty. And this is Lisa Fox, and I think Lisa Fox is going to be my guest on soon. She's out of Canada, and thank you so much for that, Lisa. Let me go to KS. They are January the 1st of 1980. So, because this person is a Capricorn, and not only that, they'll be in a one personal year, and they're also born on the first of the month. This is going to be a very powerful year for her in every way, shape, or form that you can imagine. It's interesting. One, whether it's in the month or the day or the year or whatever, give the impression of being cold. Saturn also produces that too. And so, although Saturn, when you meet KS, you might think, wow, she's cold, she don't have any feelings, or she's not affectionate. You got to get to know her. That's why I always talk about number eights, number ones, those mental numbers, about if you had to hang a motto over the door to know them is to love them. But if you just try, and I've noticed that Capricorns are number ones, the more they try to make a good impression or a best impression, the more they're misunderstood. So I always tell them, just be yourself, take your time, and eventually over time they will see the dependability, the loyalty, the steadfastness, and things like that that makes Capricorns who some of the greatest signs. Actually, every sign in the zodiac is special. So don't say, oh man, I'm not this sign, I'm this sign. Whatever sign you got, I can point out famous people, famous examples that makes you outstanding. Is whether in your mind you want to accept that you're outstanding and look for that. But again, a lot of things have been programmed now, whereby there's this whole media thing where it gets everybody to start having a sheep-like mentality. And God has given each and every one of you a mind, and I suggest you should use it. Okay, that's what I suggest. It is, and it's to your benefit. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. This is Gabrielle Heifer. She's born in a full moon on January the 30th. That makes an Aquarius of 1953. She's truly an Aquarius. Four is her number. You got that right. Because I'm looking at when I took the month, the day, and the year you're born, she did it just perfectly. She is a four destiny. Now, the term they use when they see on the month, the day, and the year you're born, they call it your destiny, but that was the universal day at that point in time in history. Okay. So, like a person is born on a date that adds up to where their destiny numbers are nine. What that simply means on that particular day, it was a nine universal day in that particular day, that particular month, and that particular year in time in history. That's all it is. And so, instead of calling it the universal day of the month and day you were born, they call it your destiny number, life path number, birth path number. But I say you're in a four. So in this case with Gabrielle, yes, and I say this because I have to assume or I have to remember that everybody doesn't understand these numerology terms. Yes, we use them, but I will say, well, your birthday suggests, Gabrielle, that you're in the fourth grade in the school of life, because the majority of us have gone to school and we know whatever grade you're in, you got to learn those fundamentals in that grade in order to get to the next grade. So if you can take that, because the birthday, remember, the birthday tells you what you're here to learn, but it's your name that tells you what you know. And that's why the name is very important too. And that's what got me hooked on this. I was into astrology, but when I got in this direction, it opened up a whole new vista of things. Why your sign shouldn't get along with that sign, yet they be loving each other. Okay, real tight. So it makes a difference. But anyway, that's you, and your key numbers are the 3, 1, and 4, and your best days are on Thursday and Sunday, my dear. All righty. Thank you. This is Mega Yummy Rockstar. I like that. November 28th. You will be in a 2 or maybe a master number year. It all depends on how you add it up, because I'm trying to do it in my head. If I do that right, I think you might be in a master number 11 year. If you are entering a master number 11 year for 2024, It simply means that this year will bring a very special mission required of you to raise yourself to the next level. If it happens to be a number 2, it simply means that the year coming up for you will be a year of transition where you're going to be making changes. They're going to be minor, but they're going to be significant by the end of the year. And those changes normally come in 3 areas. One deals with relationships, makeup and breakups. The other deals with changes in the home, rearranging it, feng shui, as they call it now. Or the third one is changes at the workplace, a new work location, a new work supervisor, a new desk assignment, something of that nature. And also, normally when a person is going through a 2 or an 11 cycle, they begin to be conscious of their diet. And there's a very interesting uh, um, documentary I saw not too long ago. It was called Poison. And it was talking about how foods have been seeming like, I don't understand it. I don't understand how you want to poison food and then tell people they want to live. I don't get it. What's that about? Oh, excuse me. Jennifer corrected me. Sarah turned 4 years old. She's a big old 4. Okay, she'll be 5 next year. Well, I got a little excited. Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks for getting me straight. All right. Okay, this is Taylor B TV. They would like some insight on being a number 2 person. Yes, people. Now, don't forget there are 4 types of 2s. There's the second. There's the 11th, because 1 plus 1 is 2, which they refer to as the master number. There's the 20th, you, Taylor B TV. And then there's the 29th. The compound number 20 is called the awakening. If you want to know about these numbers from 1 to 31, oops, I got to notice that if I don't put some juice in this computer, I'll be talking to myself. Okay, got that straight. Now, excuse me about that. But the 20th card in the tarot deck is called the Awakening. It's simply a picture symbol of a man, a woman, and a child with their hands looking to the heavens. It's almost as to ascend to the higher source. And what I've interpreted as it has meanings, but it's similar, is about simply raising people's consciousness, simply raising people's awareness. And 2s are the peacemakers as a rule. They are your negotiators. They see 2 represents the duality, day and night, close and open, things of that nature, male, female, all polarities of things. And so what the gift of 2 people, and especially in your case, Taylor B, is the ability to understand this person's side of the situation, that person's side of the situation, and bring the best of both of them together. This is why with 2 people, oftentimes they get caught in the middle of people's problem. Like the brother's having a misunderstanding with the father, and she's got to get into it and kind of smooth things over. That is kind of how the gift of 2s are. They're also very perceptive, and 2s are also very, very psychic too. They know, but don't know how they know. They just know. So I wouldn't play them. Okay. So that's it. By the way, your key numbers are the 2, 7, 1, and 4. You happen to have 4 numbers, 2, 7, 1, and 4, and Mondays and Sundays are your best days. All righty. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hi to Queen of hi to Kafunia, rather. I'm going to be joining Kafunia this Saturday out in Brooklyn. I'll show you a flyer with that later. And I got to thank Empress, and she thanks you for the likes, everyone. She is a class act, and she's really good. This is Marie Amari. She is born on the 12th of May. So that makes her earth sign with a fire number. So earth means that's the more pragmatic side of her nature. That's the more let us keep it real side of her nature. Yet she's born under a fire number that adds fuel and passion and determination and a proactive mindset to the way she does things. Okay. It indicates from her birthday, she probably walked before she was 1 year old. It tells me though she's born in 1984, she could say she's probably born in 1994, 95, 96, and nobody would give her a hard way to go. I kid you not. And she would probably confirm that maybe at some point, because she's blessed to be born under youthful indicators, and she's born in the year of the master number 22. So that means if she plays her cards correctly toward the end of the days, toward the end of her rainbow, because we all have an end of a rainbow, so to speak, that she will be making a great contribution to humanity, which because 22 rules humanity, it rules things like the 11, which is visionary, but they call the 22 the master builder, which they take these ideas and concepts and turn them into something that are real and tangible, something you can examine in the physical world, so to speak. All righty. All right. So let's see what we got. Pray Morgan, thank you so much. She's 7'3", but she like my guy's birthday reading. He is February the 1st. Okay. You know what? One of the best relationships of an Aquarius and a Cancer was President Ronald Wilson Reagan and his wife, Nancy Reagan. Okay. They met in Hollywood. And when they met, they just fell in love. And to their very end of his days, they were very tight. So here's what's interesting about you. You rule the moon and he rules the sun. In other words, his key numbers are the 1, 4, and 9. Your numbers are the 3, 2, and 7. So the 2 and the 7 rules the moon side of the numbers, and his 1 and 4 rules the sun side of the numbers. So I'm seeing a sun moon conjunction or harmony, things of that nature. So the one thing about the both of you, 1s and 3s are both fire numbers. So that means when you two are on a mission together, you'll do very, very well, Miss Morgan, I would say for the most part. He is a go-getter. And let me tell you, Mama, you ain't no slouch yourself. He probably knows that too. So yes, and for you, you're going into a year where you're going to make some of your dreams come true because you're going into a 9 personal year, and he is going into a year where he's going into the year of the 2. Now, here's the thing that you need to understand. 2s and 9s are oppositional in the way they think and do. Now, all numbers have harmonious numbers, and all numbers have some discordant numbers. Well, 9s and 2s are discordant because 9 is fire, 2 is water. So you may find that the year coming up, y'all might not be on the same page about a few things, but if you understand that, that's what makes the difference, because in his nature sense, he's going to be in a 2 personal year. The person will be most beneficial to him will be the sign of Cancer, which is you. You will be in a 9 personal year, which complements his number 1. So y'all likely to have some disagreements, and I've never met any couple that hasn't had any disagreements. Thank you. But the point is, if you do, you go with that kind of understanding. You know what I'm saying? And so if you look at our ancestors, our great grandparents and parents, things of that nature, where they were married to 30, 40, 50 years, don't tell me they didn't have their moments where they probably couldn't stand each other, wasn't going to talk to each other, whatever the case is. But you know what? They worked through it. Unlike nowadays with all this Instagram and all these dating sites, and you just swipe left, swipe right, or whatever they call it nowadays. People think they got all these options. And so the moment we are dissatisfied, we just move on to something else. But what happens is in relationships, there are lessons to be learned. There are experiences to be gained. And once you understand that, then maybe you won't be so quick to hop from one thing to another, to another, to another, and miss your water when the well runs dry. Okay. So anyway, that's it. And thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. Okay, this person wanted to know, how do I find my numbers? My apologies for being late. No problem. No problem at all. They're born June the 28th of 1984. Okay, well, you are a Cancer because you're born late June into July, but you're a Cancer 1 person. So you are a water sign with a fire number. Now, by describing the elements and how I teach students, once you understand water, water is dealing with emotions and feelings and hunches and intuitions and a knowing of things, okay? Sympathy and empathy of that nature. Yet fire brings passion and determination and conviction and a kind of a proactive, let us get this puppy started, all right? Type of situation. So there'll be times when you'll waver. It all depends on the day they catch you, okay? Some days, you might be feeling that kind of mood, which is watery. And then some days you ain't taking no prisoners, which is that fire. So it all on the 28th is I call the 28, or it's referred to as the divorce number. Now, people always think it means divorce by your relationship, your girlfriend, your wife, your boyfriend, your husband. No, it means divorce from the monies. There are 3 little warning signs for anybody born on the 28th. Do keep this in mind. Number 1, one of the things that will divorce a 28 person from their resources, their money, is who they put their trust in. Number one, by its nature, is normally very honest, very direct, and to the point. However, people born on the 28th will find that when they deal with people that way, people in return don't deal with them that way. So the example I give is, let's say this person is dealing with um, interest in junior high school and tell their buddy to go put in a word for them. The buddy goes over there and don't even bring their name up in the conversation. So because you're honest, don't expect everybody to be honest. Number two, the second challenge to a person born on the 28th to separate them from their resources is who you seek your advice from. Now, if you're going to seek your advice from a person like me and Brandon and Rebels Bay and King Simon and Jazz Aphrodite and a host of other people who are experts in this field, that's one thing. But if you're going to seek advice from somebody and their day job is fixing TV sets all day or computers all day, they may be good for your cousin, but they're not good for you. So if you were born on the 28th, whatever you seek in counsel, try to seek it from the most foremost authority in that area for which you need seeking counsel from. And the third one is how you put your name on the dotted line. People born on the 28th should never let people push a document under their nose and say, sign right here. You know, at one point I sold insurance and they used to have this phrase, the large words addeth, the small words taketh away. Or what a lawyer would say is, you got to read the fine print. So with 28 people born on the 28th, who you put your trust in, who you seek your advice from, and how you put your name on the dotted line. Those are the things that divorce you. Not now, I have met people that have had divorce, but if you, that's like saying only 28 people divorce. No, everybody and their mother be divorced nowadays. I don't care what number, what sign they're under. That seems to be the way the energy is going. But for 28 in particular, it does mean divorce from your resources, your monies. That's all. Okay. Anyway, your numbers are the 1, 4, 2, and 7. And this year, you're going into your love year. You're going into a relationship cycle, makeups and breakups, all depending on what the status is. And you might be going back to school and things of that nature, too. And I don't know. She said diva. So this is a woman. And I would say more than likely, probably working on changing your hair to some degree right now as we speak, if you haven't done it already. All righty. So let me go back. What time is it? Okay, I'm trying to stay on point. And let me go back. And I got to thank Stephen and Cal Williams. They've been such big supporters, and I really honor and thank them very, very much. Let's go to Sci-Fi Fantasy Girl. She's born March the 24th, which makes her an Aries 6 person. That means her numbers are the 6, 9, and 3. That means her best days are always on a Friday, Tuesday, and Thursday. That means her best months are always in March, April, May, October, November, and December. And it means that this particular year for them, they happen to be going through an 8 personal year. Now, it has to deal with relationships. And normally, I'll put it like this. You will be entering an 8 personal year, a year that's normally associated with resources, connections, the ability to make things happen. I always say money, power, authority, achievement, and recognition. But I'm just kind of saying it another way. But the ability to get the job done, the ability to be recognized for what you do, to get your flowers while your feet are above ground. Okay. It also indicates in the 8 cycle, no matter who it is, that all of us do some growing up. And since next year is an 8 universal year, and you happen to be in an 8 personal year, this is going to be even more meaningful for you. And so in an 8 universal year normally brings people back into our lives that we haven't seen. Events such as funerals and christenings and weddings and baby showers and family, college and family reunions, those kind of things. And people from your past and relationships, exes and whatnot, things like that. But the point is you also do a lot of growing up. You become in a more philosophical vein about how things are going for you. So your numbers, though, are the 6, 9, and 3, as I said. Your best days are Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, and your best months are March, April, May, October, November, December. So I'm going to just take a couple of more, and I'm not going to overstay. Let me see something. I do want to thank all of you very, very much. And the session I did on children, a lot of people responded to it, but I put that on TikTok. So if you go to my TikTok, which is Numbers in You, you see I broke down number 1 children, number 2 children, number 3 children, stuff like that. And so we did Saturn's daughter, okay, And and blessings to all of you. Blessings to really, really all of you. I'm very, very thankful, very, very appreciative. And I'm just going through some of these right quick. And I think I'm going to take about 2 or 3 more. And did I do this? Okay. And Empress Rel, she's a lifesaver. Between her and hi and Nikki Monty. You know the theme song that y'all hear at the beginning of the show and the end of the show? This is the sister that created it. She's the one that I've had on a couple of occasions. I want to have her back on too, that does gongs. All right. So for those of you in Atlanta, she's having a special event coming up on Sunday, I do believe. All right, this Sunday. And if it's not this Sunday, it's the next Sunday. And I would like her to send me a flyer because I just found out about it today when I was going through and I saw something on her site. But Nikki Monty is the one that does it, and she's just a great person. She's a Virgo 8 person, so it's going to be a great year for her. In fact, she's going to be my new best friend too. Okay, and for Jennifer, you my girl. Thank you so much, dear. I don't know what made them say, well, you're going to be the godfather twice too. I'm a lucky guy because they are beautiful young ladies too. Okay. We did Stoke Culture November 25th. We did that. Let's see. Oh, Mr. VIP. 317 is his name. And it adds to an 11. But this person is born January the 12th. So this person is an earth sign with a fire number. Again, the way I teach students is the nature of an element. Earth is means just that, earthy. Things grow from the earth. You name it. I don't care what it is. It just happens that way. Not only that, but this person is an earth sign, which means they like to keep it real. They use what is called common sense, mother wit, logic, and the powers of deduction. But the 12, though, is a fire number. The only thing about 12 is it's called the hangman. In the tarot, is a picture symbol of a man hung upside down by his ankle, and it denotes mental anxiety, mental suffering, and anxiety of mind, which means, sir, Mr. VIP 317, if you're not careful, you have to be on guard against people taking advantage of your resources, your goodness, your home, your whatever the case is. Yo, Vet, what's up? How you doing? Listen, can you take me to the airport or something? They're always going to want something. So as long as you keep that in mind, be prepared to learn how to say no first. Because I notice with people born on the 12th, when they say yes, they feel committed that they got to go through with their word as against saying no. And it's hard for them to change that yes to a no because they promised they would do it. So even while they're doing it, they're mentally kicking themselves because they really didn't want to do it, but they said they were going to do it. And that's why it's called mental suffering and anxiety of mind. And it's also called the victim or the sacrifice for the plans and intrigues of others. So anybody born on the 12th of any month, just be careful of the users. And there seem to be a whole bunch of users out up in here nowadays. Okay. So just be a little guarded, folks, if you don't mind. I will take one more, and I'm going to be bringing on some new guests, and also S. I. Williams W. Thanks so much for the donation. I appreciate that, and I'm trying to acknowledge those if I can. And okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to take one more after this. This is Charlton Carlton Coleman. All righty. They're born August 9th. Fire sign, fire number. That tells me something right there. This person don't play. This is the same birthday as Deion Sanders or Mr. Primetime. This in Colorado State or University, whatever it is. And they have very good opinion of themselves. Now, there's a slight difference with this person because their moon is in Cancer, which adds sensitivity to their overall makeup. And their rising sign, which is the way they appear, sometimes give off a aura of mystery, or aura of like, what is this person about? But I would say this is a very strong-willed person. Next year for them will be a year where they do a lot of soul searching, where they got to stop, look, and listen. But the next 2 years after that, particularly the year of 2025, 2026, are going to be exactly what the doctor ordered as it did in the fall of 2015 and the 2016 and 2017. That's because those years added to a 9 or a 1, and this person's number, Coleman, are the 9, the 1, and the 4. So 2025 adds up to a 9, and 2026 adds up to a 4. But it will all start at the beginning very, very soon. All righty. So anyway, let me take one more, and then I'm going to call it a day. This is Karine Salou, who is an earth. Now, this is a combination that is what I call nurturing. They are a water sign with an earth number. So anytime you plant something, that's why I call this a nurturing combination, because anything you plant, you put in what? Rich soil, and those seeds can stay in that soil buried for hundreds of years until you magically come along and water it. So this person is their own nurturer. It also tells me this person is very mature. They've always been mature. It would tell me why they were growing up, especially with Karine, that other girls thought she was snooty or stuck up, or who did she think she is? And she was just simply laid back, old as Methuselah in that sense, in terms of her wisdom and knowing. Now, biologically, she's young, but spiritually, she's old and has probably always felt much older than her biological years. Her key numbers are the 8, 2, and 7, and she'll find that Saturday, Monday, along with Fridays, are basically her best days. Okay. So anyway, I want to thank everybody. And people have asked me to put up my banner, which I rarely do because it's like, but here it is. Okay. Lloyd Strayhorn, astronumerologist, author. My site is lloyd-strayhorn.com. I have a star8.com for my app, Linktree, Numbers in You, free monthly newsletter. October's out, online courses, IG, Facebook, Numbers in You, LinkedIn, I think Numbers in You, X now, Numbers in You, Cash App, $, obviously Numbers in You. But anyway, enough of that. So let me just make some announcements before I finish up. I do want to thank King Simon for sponsoring the show all this month. You see, I had him on. The Brothers Masterclass is only $55. I mean, come on, really. I mean, and he and I know what we can charge for these courses. So, but like anything, if you notice, when I advertise my courses, they're always in there on a tremendous sale. Don't think I would like to get the full retail value for the course. So my thing is to get it when it's at its lowest, and I advertise it. So there's no excuse not to gain the knowledge. These are some of Simon's books. By the way, this was his first book he printed in 2015. This is his second book that he printed in 2016. Numbers are simple. Children's health is important. And this is one he also printed in 2019. No promotion is bad promotion. I got all his books. Okay. And this is his latest book before he goes into other ones. The Numerovator is for mental stability, where he talks about, and depression is very, very high. Also, please pick up Jazz Aphrodite's book. She doesn't have too many left. They go, but if you had possession of the book, you'd understand why she can't keep them. They'd be flying off the shelf, so to speak. But it's called Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded. Please pick it up. You will see there to the top right is Aphrodite.com. That's where you send and get it, and it will be coming to you autographed. All right. As for this Saturday, I will be out in Brooklyn with Brother Kaba. All right. And King Simon, Kafunya, and myself. And it will be this Saturday in the evening at Nicholas, Brooklyn. And that's at 1396 Fulton Street. It will be from 6 to 9 p.m. this Saturday, the 21st, with the four of us. And Brother Kaba, this brother's heavy. I mean, really, if you want some wisdom, he's going to be talking about Shabaka stones and African theory of the origin and continued development of the cosmic universe. And of course, special guest Kafunya, Ife, Hank Rising Sun, and myself. But that's going to be this coming Saturday in Brooklyn at 1396 Fulton Street. All righty. So I think that's about it. Let me do something. I know I'm always saying something that's going on. Let me do this. Okay. And by the way, please, for those of you, my newsletter is available. It is amazing how time is flying. Tomorrow will be the 19th of October, which means we're past middle of the month already. So I've got to get November in the place, that which will be done. But the newsletter is free. Just go to either Linktree Numbers in You or Lloyd Strayhorn.com to sign up for the free monthly newsletter. No, I don't sell your mailing list. I keep it, it's mine. Okay, in that sense, I respect your privacy. No, I'm not going to be selling it to somebody just to get a piece of paper. No, I don't roll like that. I keep it in privacy. So if you do, believe me, if I'm promoting something, you'll get it in the newsletter. But other than that, you're not going to be getting no stuff from somebody else that ain't part of the Live with Lloyd family. That's for sure. Again, I want to thank everybody for signing up for the Star 8 app. There's been some things, Apple keeps doing something. So some of you get it with ease, especially the Google family, but Apple changes some of their rules. And so that's why there's little glitches. So please bear with me. It's not my fault. It's not the developer's fault. It's I guess the way Apple does its business. Okay. So I'm not privy to that. All I know is that they change things, and if you don't make the changes, things don't happen. So, but anyway, if you want to, and if you want to see what it looks like before you download it, just go to astar8.com. You can see all the features there. And for those of you who do have the Star 8 app, if you have any concerns, write to a star8llc at gmail. That's a star8llc at gmail. And I will send it directly to the developers. I try to explain it. And since I don't know what I'm talking about, because numbers is my thing, not computer development, I send it there and let them do it. And they're quickly getting back to people, because people tell me they get a very fast response. For those in the TikTok family, well, I'm now on TikTok. So a lot of these segments that you see on this show is a little spliced and diced and put on there for whatever. Okay. And then for those of you, I have my book, audiobook, Numbers in You, in my voice, recorded by me. And if you want to hear the show without seeing the show, you can go to the Numbers in You podcast. All right. So that's it. That's it. Everybody have a very, very nice weekend. Soon, I'm going to be starting a relationship show. It's going to be called Should I Stay or Should I Go? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all, I'm telling you what people ask me. We did it in Trinidad. It was Kaya French, Uchenna, uh, um, and myself, Uchenna Hackett, Kaya French, and myself. We did it, and she was in Detroit. I was in New York. He was in Trinidad. And it went well for a little while, but there was some things on that end that was beyond our control. So Should I Stay or Go is going to be coming to the U.S., Harlem, okay? And from Harlem, that means the world, okay? So that's how that's going to be. And that's going to be coming up hopefully before this month is out, and no later than about the first or second week in November, of Should I Stay or Go? And it's going to be just on relationships, because the majority of the people always ask me about relationships. So this way, and I got to be honest, especially with women. I don't know about the guys, but when a woman's asked me about relationships, she already knows what she's going to do. It's almost as if the reading, she's confirming what she's going to do, but she already knows what she's going to do, and it's just a matter of when. So guys, we need to kind of step it up too and get wise to some of these things also. And it's not about outdoing a woman about things, but it's understanding about how to keep your lady, and ladies, how to keep your man. All righty. So everybody, I want to thank you very much. This has been a lot of fun as usual. I want all of you to have a very, very good weekend and take care of yourselves. Because as I said, if you don't take care of yourself, the question is,